Hello, my name is Collection Connoisseur. I collect digital thingamabobs and video games. Today I'm playing Monster Train. This time on Monster Train, we will be playing as the Stygian Melting. Now the reason that this is already selected is because I actually started this run once and my recording messed up, so I'm restarting it. I abandoned the run and we're restarting it, which means I already know a little bit about what we're dealing with. We are doing the Corrosive Cash. All units take damage at the end of turn, and your units taking damage loses you money. Toss in all units have multi-strike for fun. So we've got Acid Rain, which deals 2 damage to all units after combat. That's both my units and the enemy units. We've got Strike Hard. Every unit has multi-strike, my units and enemy units. And Bleeding Cash. We lose 1 gold whenever a friendly unit takes damage, which happens a lot because all my units take 2 damage, and all my enemies have multi-strike. So we're just constantly bleeding cash. Now, we are going to go with that. We are going to go with this clan combination. However, rather than starting with Pethys Titan's Bane, which dies really fast with Corrosive Rain, I'm going to start with Solgard the Martyr, who might possibly have a better chance. This particular clan combination, Exiled Stygian, Exiled Melting, I have played with recently. I've played with that when doing the recent one, another one of the expert challenges, the one that we had small hands. So we've played with this combination exactly recently, however we did not get very far. Hopefully we get farther in this one than we got in that one. Let's start. We have Ice Tornado, those are always fun. Molten Encasement is interesting. It gives my unit Stealth 2, and it always dies because of the Acid Rain. But my units still get damage from the Acid Rain. Still could be very good because all of my units have multi-strike. And Crystalline Seeds apply 6 frostbite to enemy units. You know, not terrible. We've got Seraph the Diligent. The first spell card played each turn gets Consume. That's terrible. Also remember, he adds Vengeful Shards to the deck, which is pretty bad too. Oh man, this one could be bad. Friendly units enter with Sap 1. Talos attacks every turn and applies Dazed on Strike. This one has a Blinding Dark Shard and a Shattering Dark Shard. Neither of those are very nice when you're playing as the Melting, because you play a lot of units, and units die a lot when you're playing as the Melting. Okay, this one could be hard. I hope we do get further than we've done before, but I'm worried about this one. Let's take some artifacts. Maybe we should take the champion upgrade first. Let's look at our champion upgrades. So I think this phased one is probably the best, because it makes Solgard the Martyr actually useful, and if you're not phased, then the Acid Rain kills you pretty quickly. So I think what we do is the phased one. The nice thing about this one, though, is the revenge effect applies all the time because of Acid Rain. So to be fair, revenge effects are pretty good in this particular challenge with Acid Rain and Strike Hard. However, I think Titan Channel is what we want for our champion. So let's pick that. Let's get this artifact. Sketches of Salvation. You know, it's not great with the Molten Encasements. Oh man. The Molten Encasements, we've done that before where we had Sketches of Salvation in Molten Encasements and it was quite bad. And I like my Molten Encasements, so maybe we take Hell's Banners instead. It works pretty well with the Melting, especially because we've got the primitive molds in our starting deck. So yeah, let's take Hell's Banners. Sketches of Salvation, I love starting with it though. It feels bad to not start with it. Titan's Claws or a Forgotten Name. Titan's Claws is fun. It does not work very well with foregone powers, but we do want to get rid of those. It works extremely well with Ice Tornado, which is something to consider. Extremely well with Ice Tornado. And then a Forgotten Name is pretty nice. Forgotten Name is pretty nice. We'll be playing a lot of spells. I don't know which one of these I want. I think I'm going to take Titan's Claws. Wait a minute, with Hell's Banners. Alright, never mind. Because we took Hell's Banners, and therefore we should have a fairly good Ember amount that we take in, I'm going to take a Forgotten Name. Alright, and let's start the first battle. First battle could be scary. Actually, it's not going to be scary at all. The clergy all dies to the acid rain. Okay, whatever. Let's turn on the trial then. So we don't really need to play anything until the end. That's basically what I'm seeing here, because the clergy all die. We will play Soulguard the Martyr. We're going to play Soulguard the Martyr at the top. And we're going to play a Foregone Power at the top too. I think we want to play the Train Stewards to get rid of them out of the deck. And there's no reason to have them die particularly, so let's play the Train Stewards. Actually, the problem with playing the Train Stewards is that it takes away our money. Okay, I'm going to play the Train Steward at the bottom, have it die. That means that it only takes away 2 of our money. And then we're going to play Foregone Power at the top to give Soulguard 1 shard, which we need 4. 4 to remove phased. There's the Collector. We do want to kill the Collector. We can do that with Crystalline Seeds. So let's do that with Crystalline Seeds. A Primitive Mold could get back a Train Steward. You know? Okay, we'll get back a Train Steward. I don't know that that's good to get back a Train Steward, but we'll get back a Train Steward. I do want this one to die. And I don't know how that's going to happen. Maybe we play the 2 Train Stewards in the center. And just let our cash go away. Yeah, let's have our cash just disappear, unfortunately. Actually, the Foregone Powers take care of you, don't they? Well, sadly I played Train Stewards as well. So let's play a Foregone Power to get rid of you, so you don't hurt Soulguard the Martyr. Play one of those, and we'll play the Primitive Mold so we wake up Soulguard the Martyr soon, I think. We've got... Yeah, also we're powering up the spells that require magic power in our deck, too. The Train Steward. Train Steward with Burnout 2. I guess we'll play it at the bottom. Sure, it'll do some damage next turn. It doesn't do any damage this turn. We do have 2 Train Stewards and Ice Tornadoes. The 2 Train Stewards played together gives us 3 more Ember. Still not enough to play both Ice Tornadoes. But I don't see a reason not to play the Train Stewards. You are awake now. That's both good and bad. Let's play 2 Train Stewards. 1 Train Steward here. 1 Train Steward here. And then play Ice Tornado. 1 of the Ice Tornadoes. And then we'll play the Foregone Power. Well, we won't play the Foregone Power because we're planning to play Ice Tornado instead. We got another Ice Tornado. Don't mind that. We do want the Molten Encasements to come back. It looks like they're coming back at the appropriate time. Maybe. Either way, we have an Ice Tornado, and Soulguard the Martyr just wins on its own. Yeah, okay, so we win this one. Can I make it so that we take less cash damage? If we play Molten Encasement, you only get to hit once, which means you steal 1 of my money, not 2 of my money. Alright, so that was helpful. We have 1 more cash because of how I played that previous turn, that last turn. So we do have a fair amount of cash. There's another Ice Tornado. I think we should take Helical Chrysalis. Yes, let's take Helical Chrysalis, not another Ice Tornado. Even though I love my Ice Tornadoes, let's branch out a little bit. So I really like Entombed Explosive as well as Molten Encasement. The Wicklash is not bad, because the Wicklash, when we primitive mold a character, Wicklash can add Burnout to it so that it survives a little bit, and the +10 is very good because of Multi-Strike. But honestly, what if we just have a ton of Molten Encasements? A ton of Molten Encasements with our champion. Is that good? I want another Molten Encasement. 3 Molten Encasements. Last time I tried this, it did not go well. But I want to try again. Do we want a Stygian banner unit? We do. We do want a Stygian banner unit. I don't mind going to a Merchant of Steel, although I really do want to go to a Merchant of Magic. It's just that getting your banner units seems like a decent thing to do. So let's see if we can get a good banner unit. Let's peek in the Merchant of Steel to see what we have. A Large Stone. Large Stone might change what we take. Ho-ho! Okay, so Titan Sentry has Revenge, Frostbite 3. It gets hit multiple times by every enemy, and it gets hit by Acid Rain at the end of the turn. So that is a ton of Frostbite. Let's take Titan Sentry. And I don't care to put that in front of my champion most of the time, so I'm also pretty happy to put a Large Stone on it. Let's put a Large Stone on the Titan Sentry, so that it can just take more hits and apply more Frostbite. The Heartstone might be good for that too. I don't know if I care about a Strength Stone on anything that we currently have. So let's add a Heartstone to this Titan Sentry as well. And then we might even purge a card, because if we don't spend our money just bleeds away. Let's get an artifact first, though. Encased Ember gives us a ridiculous amount of Ember, because we've got 3 Tomb units in our deck. So we could have just a lot of Ember. And I like that. Let's take Encased Ember. So now we should have a ton of Ember. Let's purge a Train Steward, because the Train Stewards are taking away our primitive molds, hitting things that we like. Okay. I think we've got a pretty good deck for this part of the run. And I don't know if I really want a unit draft here. Unit drafts are not bad, but I don't know if I care enough for a unit draft to turn on the Armor 10. The Armor 10 messes up the Acid Rain dealing with the enemy units. So let's just not turn it on. I don't think I need a unit draft that badly. The Titan Sentry at the bottom might just kind of take out everything. Let's hope. And then Soulguard the Martyr at the top. Do we play Helical Chrysalis and Ice Tornado? I don't feel a need to play them at the bottom, because you're going to die from Frostbite. And I don't think we need to keep our Titan Sentry alive. So let's play the Helical Chrysalis at the top to get the shard. We need 3 more shards. Those should not be hard to get. And I think we might keep the Ice Tornado. I guess if we play it, then this one in the middle dies, probably, and we get less damage on our unit, which is actually good right now. Okay, I liked that. And you will die from Frostbite. Ooh, I don't like that the Collector's in the back, though. Everything at the bottom is dying, so let's play Ice Tornado to kill the Collector. Ice Tornado to kill the Collector. Primitive Mold doesn't do anything anyway. And then let's charge up the shards. So we've got 3 shards, and we got a magic power from that. I like that. I almost want this guy to die so that we would reform him. But even not reformed, he's quite nice. Do we use the Molten Encasements on you? Or do we put Molten Encasements at the top? I guess the first Molten Encasement goes down here. And then I don't feel a need to get your last shard down just yet. Let's do that at a future turn. So you're just going to be phased, maybe forever. Who knows? We got Crystalline Seeds. This is a good time for Crystalline Seeds. We're actually already winning. Wow. Already winning? Okay. Well, let's just win. Our champion stayed phased the entire battle. How about that? Okay. We're doing well. We're doing well so far. I don't think we need Mollusk Mage. However, Mollusk Mage is a pretty decent thing to sacrifice because of the plus 10 magic power. So we could get plus 10 magic power on any unit that we sacrifice the Mollusk Mage to. I don't know if I care about that enough to take a Mollusk Mage, though. I don't think so. Let's skip these. So Hallowed Drippings gets Burnout. Purifying Cleanse also applies Burnout. Considering how often we're going to reform units, most likely, I think getting something that applies Burnout is pretty good. And I'm leaning towards Purifying Cleanse here. So let's get a Purifying Cleanse. I really only want one. Although I'm thinking of the Seraph battle. Seraph battle is a reason to have more because they get consumed. So we don't need a Merchant of Steel. We kind of buffed up the main unit that we have. We could duplicate our gigantic unit. That's interesting. Let's go this way. Let's peek in the Divine Temple first. So there's a Seek Stone and a Value Stone. I don't know what we would want to Seek Stone. Certainly nothing that we currently have. Value Stone, also not something I'm interested in, partially because of Hell's Banners and the Encased Embers. So let's not take either of those stones. We might sacrifice whatever unit we get here. Let's get a unit. Ooh. So Siren of the Sea has a good incant. Let's look at unit essences. Siren of the Sea has a pretty good incant. And we could sacrifice it to add it to our giant Frostbite unit. I like the plan, I think. So we're going to take that. We're going to go to the Concealed Caverns, see what we get here. Oh, we've only seen this one a couple times. So we can get one of the spikes. So Spike of the Hellhorned applies Rage and Armor. Awoken Railspike, we draw a bunch of cards. Melting Remnant, the Waxen Spike, we apply Burnout to units, but we also apply a bunch of attack. Kind of like all of those. The Spike of the Hellhorned gives Rage, which is a little bit worse than the attack, but it adds armor instead of burnout. Armor instead of burnout. This one applies it to all friendly units on the floor. This one applies it to only one. Let's take the Spike of the Hellhorned. I have to admit, part of the reason I'm taking this is that we haven't mastered it, which is not a great reason to choose one of these, but I want to master the card, and hopefully we win. So now we're going to the Divine Temple. We are using the Engage Pact to sacrifice the Siren of the Sea, putting it on our Titan Sentry, and then we're going to duplicate that Titan Sentry. Alright, we are going big into Titan Sentry this time. And we have 70 pack shards already, even without taking those 2 stones. Let's go into Talos the Architect, see how well we do. Soul Sucker. Friendly units enter with Sap 1. Talos attacks every turn, applies Dazed on Strike. You know, the Dazed is not great. But if we are primarily winning with a whole bunch of Frostbite, then we're probably just fine. I'm thinking about whether we want to put this at the bottom. We are putting Soulguard the Martyr at the top. For the future. This guy, we probably don't care about putting him at the bottom because there's all of these that die on the first turn. So I think I'm going to put you in the center this time. And then we will play the Crystalline Seeds on the boss and Helical Chrysalis on the boss. You're applying Dazed on Strike, so you're going to get 2 Dazed, I think. Unless we put this Molten Encasement in front of you. Which I will, I think. Let's put the Molten Encasement in front of you. And we are going to put one of you at the bottom. So one of you goes at the bottom. We've got that, so the Primitive Mold doesn't get back anything. We could play a Trained Steward, but I don't want it to die because I don't want it to be in the consume pile. So the Primitive Molds get me back what I want. And then, unfortunately, the Foregone Power can't hit you. So what we're going to do is play it at the top. So we get our shard. We need 1 more shard. Very easy to get 4 shards in Soulguard the Martyr. I see Spike of the Hellhorned, which is kind of nice. We already have 8 Ember. We could do a Primitive Mold to get back Molten Encasement, which I don't want to do this turn. So I think we just do Spike of the Hellhorned on this unit. Bam, make him big. And then, do we play Foregone Powers? I think not, because we'll keep the Ice Tornado instead. And we apply a bunch of Frostbite. A bunch of Frostbite to the boss. The boss has 27 Frostbite. Molten Encasement. We could put the Molten Encasement at the bottom if we wanted to. That would mean that this one survives. This one still dies. All of those die because of Acid Rain. But would I rather play the Molten Encasement and keep you alive by giving you stealth, or would I rather have you die so that I can reform you later? I think I want to keep you alive. So let's keep you alive. I don't really want to do anything with the boss because I don't want to wake up my Soulguard the Martyr. Although playing a Foregone Power is not bad. Playing the Foregone Power is not bad. Let me think about it. Let's not do it. We could play it somewhere else because we've got Incant on these, so they get bigger when we play it. Oh, right. But we just discarded our Frozen card. Very sad. Let's Purify and Cleanse you to incant this one. Okay. So I like the amount of Frostbite that we add. The Molten Encasement could go here if we wanted to, or we could take the damage to apply more Frostbite. I don't mind applying more Frostbite. Also, the Ice Tornado could be played anywhere. You're doing just fine. You're taking 2 damage from the Acid Rain, and that means that you are applying Frostbite to these two. Which I think is important, because I think the Frostbite hits the damage shield, and then the Acid Rain kills it, or the other way around. Either way, we needed 2 sources of damage. The Acid Rain is one, the Frostbite is another. Nice. Okay, let's play the Molten Encasement in the center. Let's play Ice Tornado in the center. Let's play Foregone Power in the center after playing a Primitive Mold. Yes, we want to play Primitive Mold. We can play that at the bottom. And we can play a Molten Encasement down here, which applies more stealth to you. And then we can do Foregone Power on the boss. Okay. You know, I think we're winning this one, no problem. This battle, I mean. I don't really know what we need to do to win the run, because I've never really played with the Titan Sentries like this before. I've heard that Titan Sentries are good. And so I partially picked it because I was trying it out, and I thought this was the perfect time to try it out. It's been amazing so far. But I've never done it before, so I don't really know how well it goes. Like what we need to do to our deck to make it work even better. Either way, we win this one very easily. We did not even wake up our champion again. Our champion was phased the entire battle. Nice. We only have 64 cash, though. Our money goes real fast. Devourer of Death. Do we want Devourer of Death? Or Sacrificial Resurrection, for that matter. I don't think we want that one, actually. I do not want Spike of the Stygian. The sap is nice on Spike of the Stygian, to be fair. Devourer of Death. Extinguish, deal 15 damage to enemy units. So that's pretty good if we put it on one of our... if we sacrificed it to put it on one of the Molten Encasements. And it might be pretty good on its own too, especially with Molten Encasements, because that means it gains lots of soul. Like a lot of soul. From the Molten Encasements dying, and then it has stealth, so it doesn't die. You know, Devourer and Death might be very good. It might be. I don't know if I want another unit, though. We've got our Stealth Givers, we've got our Frostbite guys, and we just added an Explosive Tomb unit. Actually, an Explosive Wickless. Did not notice that that was Wickless. I thought it would be a Tomb unit. Did not work with Encased Ember. I think that we skip. Weirdly. Weirdly, I think that we skip. I almost certainly want Herzl's Compound. We don't need Fell's Remorse. Let's get Herzl's Compound. I very much want to remove cards. I also want to visit a Merchant of Magic sometime. And I don't know when we're going to do that. Maybe we'll do it down here. I don't know. But I really do want to remove cards. So we're going to the left. Maybe we just never visit Merchants of Magic. So the 20 Pyre health, gain an artifact, spells get an extra upgrade slot, extinguish abilities trigger an additional time. Alright. Waxer Snuffer, get into the deck. And then let's remove 2 Train Stewards. Our champion gets upgraded. We probably want Titan Channel 2. 10 stacks of Shard might be pretty hard to happen, but the 90/90 is really nice. And honestly, we might be able to get all of that Shard. I don't know yet. Let's do it. Did not even look at the Divine Temple. We don't really care about Seek Stones or Value Stones. I don't really want to engage Pact now. We do have a future Divine Temple. We've got one next time, and near the end. A couple near the end. Alright. Yeah, don't worry about sacrificing just yet. We probably want to sacrifice again, but let's wait. Don't build up the Pact Shards too quickly. Non-boss enemy units get multi-strike, or a random artifact. You know, maybe them having multi-strike is not so bad. They already have multi-strike. I'm sure this gives them more multi-strike. But that just means my revenge effects happen more often. And my stealth just takes away their benefit of having multi-strike. Let's turn it on. Even though we're at extreme threat level. Even though we're at extreme threat level. So we're going to put this guy at the bottom. Please. We actually want you to get hit. We don't want to put 2 Molten Encasements in front of you. Do we put 2 Molten Encasements in front of Soulguard the Martyr, though? We could do that. Which means Soulguard the Martyr would have Stealth 8 at the very beginning. Let's do it. Because these are going to immediately die. And we'll play the Primitive Mold up here, so we incant here, rather than incanting down here. I think we need to get the shards first. And then don't play the Train Steward. Okay, so they didn't die, but they do have a lot of... Ooh, you're going to regen before you get the Frostbite? Is that how I'm reading that? That's unfortunate. Granted, we could play Titan Sentry in the center, which we most surely will. Surely we will do that. So let's play one of these in the center. We could play Devourer of Death in front of it, which seems like the wrong place to put Devourer of Death. We don't really want Devourer of Death right now. Or actually, we do have Primitive Mold, so we could get it. We could get it. I'm interested now. So let's play a Primitive Mold at the top. Now we have a Molten Encasement, which we can put in front of something where the Devourer of Death is behind. If the Devourer of Death survived a little bit longer, putting it at the top would be perfect. But it dies pretty quickly with Acid Rain. So we would have to put it at the bottom if we wanted it to do something. Interesting. Maybe we should play Ice Tornado first. No, we want to play Devourer of Death first either way, because it wants the Harvest. We could do the Helical Chrysalis first. Let's do that. Right? No, because if you hit this guy once or twice, it's better than Helical Chrysalis hitting it twice. Okay, sure. Oh. Whoops. The guy dying in the back had an extinguish effect, which killed my guy. Whoops. Alright, so the Molten Encasement was supposed to go in front there, but we messed that up. We at least get +1 magic power. Do we have you get hurt again? And instead put the stealth up here? Let's put the stealth up here. We'll even give you more burnout. So everything is dying, except my units. I still have a lot of shards to add to my champion, for the champion to wake up. That's the main problem so far. We only have 2 Ember when we drew Spike of the Hellhorn. How unfortunate. We do have 2 Primitive Molds, though. So we could get back both of those things, try what I was trying to do again. Primitive Mold. Primitive Mold. So then we do... Do I even want that? You guys will die from the next war. Almost certainly, I think. Okay, let's do it. So Molten Encasement in front. Devourer of Death behind. And then we do have the Spike of the Hellhorn that we could play. We have 3 Ember. It's just not as much Ember as we normally will have. Let's not play it yet. Let's play Foregone Powers at the top. So we've got 7 shards, we need 10. I think we will have no problem getting the shards that we need. You guys... How did my guy die? Did he die because of spikes? Wait a minute. I don't understand how he died. Well, in any event, you are stealthy. We could play the Crystalline Seeds at the bottom. It's the most sensible place to play Crystalline Seeds, so we'll do that. We could save health on you by playing Ice Tornado, or we could play it at the bottom because that's pretty good too. Either way, we're going to play a Primitive Mold at the top, which gets back a Molten Encasement, which we could play at the bottom. Or we could play it at the top because that will give you even more stealth. Oh no, you haven't gotten any stealth because you're not here yet, because you're phased. Well, we could wake you up this turn. We could play this Molten Encasement and wake you up. I think that's a good idea. So we actually get the stealth. I did not realize that you can't gain stealth while you are phased. It makes sense, but I didn't realize it. I think I will save health on you by playing the Ice Tornado here. Oh, if we do that, we're not guaranteed to play both Foregone Powers. Let's play 1 Foregone Power. Perfect. Now the Ice Tornado. And then the other Foregone Power to wake you up. Now we can spend our spells doing Incant on our icy guys, our icy sharks. And our champion got a bunch of stuff. You are burning out. That's fine. Let's do another Molten Encasement at the top. This one will not give us Ember Drain. And then a Primitive Mold, because it dies, that is. Primitive Mold can get Devourer of Death. But he does have Burnout too. So we might want to play him at the bottom. Maybe. Because of the Burnout 2. Sure, let's play you at the bottom. Let's play Ice Tornado into center first. Nice. And then the Helical Chrysalis. And then Foregone Power. Play the Foregone Power at the bottom. We've got 11 stealth on our champion. That's wonderful. We did get a Primitive Mold, and we got Spike of the Hellhorned at a perfect time to get it. So, Primitive Mold first. Play the Molten Encasement in front. We want to Purifying Cleanse you, I guess, to give you more burnout. You're currently burning out. But you burn out after this guy dies, after the stealthy unit dies. Still, you could have more burnout, and that would be good. And then Spike of the Hellhorned make you big and strong. And then we win at the bottom. Perfect. Wonderful. We did get the self-mutilation in the deck. It's so sad. Ooh, what did we get? We get Founding Seal. Incant abilities trigger an additional time. Wonderful. That helps our champion too, right? Yeah, this is an incant, so we gain shards faster. Double speed shards. Wonderful. Ice Storm is really nice with a Forgotten Name. And I don't know if I care much about the other ones, so Ice Storm it is. I mean, I like Preserve, generally. It's not as good when you've got Foregone Powers in the deck. Let's take Ice Storm. Engulfed in Smoke just adds more stealth. Crushing Demise. I think we want Memento Mori, because our units die a whole lot. Memento Mori. So I do want to go this way to go to the Unstable Vortex, because removing more cards is very good. Let's get the Forgotten Boons. Let's peek in the Divine Temple. Twin Stone and True Stone. I really like seeing the True Stone there. Unstable Vortex is going to remove a Train Steward, which we never want, and a Foregone Power, which we often do not want. Merchant of Steel. Who do we even have to upgrade? We've got Devourer of Death to upgrade, which is actually not too bad. We also have a Wick Stone that we could add to one of the Molten Encasements to give it Burnout 1. I don't mind those having Burnout 1. The Speed Stone is kind of pointless, though. So the Rune Stone and the Wick Stone I do not mind. And of course we can purge cards. Let's take the True Stone. True Stone is going on Ice Storm, because that's extremely nice. And then, do we also put a Twin Stone on Ice Storm? We could. The twinned version would cost 2, but that's probably not a problem. And I would really like the Ice Storm to happen multiple times. There's nothing else that we would want a Twin Stone on, so I'm certainly thinking about it. Let's do it. I think Twin Stone is pretty good. Alright. Now, let's stop taking pack shards so much. Let's be a little bit light on the pack shards. I tell this to myself. The Rune Stone I don't mind putting on Devourer of Death, so it survives a little bit more. We don't want it to survive much, but we do want it to survive a little bit more. And then a Wick Stone could go on a Molten Encasement. No problem. That makes it so that it burns out... I don't know, does it really do much of anything? Because the Molten Encasements die the first time because of the Acid Rain. Well, and just getting hit. They get hit the first time, but they die from Acid Rain if I put them at the top. The Wick Stone makes it so they burn out instead. I don't think we need this. Okay. Do we want to purge a card or re-roll? We certainly want to re-roll. Large stone. Another large stone. You know, we can't really put large stones on things because of the extra space. We could put another rune stone, or we could put a battle stone on our little dude. We could put a battle stone on you. It might make you die from spikes. But I'm happy to do that. Let's make you a little bit more useful. And then purge. Let's purge another foregone power. And then we've got money, and it's probably good to have a little bit of money saved up. So let's go into the next battle. I say that, but we're playing with Corrosive Cash, so our money just disappears. Non-boss enemy units restore all health when they move up a floor. That is terrible when our main thing that we're doing is applying Frostbite. We are not going to turn that on. We do have Crystalline Seeds, which, you know, hurts that one a fair amount. The Siren of the Sea dies really fast. But he could have a Molten Encasement in front of him at the very beginning. I like that. Soulguard the Martyr goes at the top. Siren of the Sea goes at the bottom. And then a Molten Encasement goes in front. Because you add 4 stealth. That's really nice. And we can even play the Spike of the Hellhorned to make you stronger faster. I like that too. Crystalline Seeds is no longer necessary. Although hitting you is not bad with the Crystalline Seeds. It does help kill you. Okay, let's do it. I realized right after doing that having you at the bottom is not the best for the stealthy units. But I guess this one in the center is going to take care of a lot of the stealthy units. You're taking almost no damage. This one is dying from Acid Rain. You are getting armor, but you're also getting some Frostbite. You're getting Frostbite because this guy has spikes, so that triggers the revenge effect. Nice. We can also play a lot of our stuff. Let's play a Primitive Mold. Let's play it at the top so that we actually add 2 shards. And then where do we want to play this Molten Encasement? I kind of want to put it at the bottom. Let's do it. Let's make you super stealthy. It does add more armor to you, which is sad, but we deal with those things. Here, 52 damage on you is kind of bad. What if we play Memento Mori to kill this one? And then you only take 2 damage. What if we play an Ice Tornado down here? And then a Foregone Power at the top, so that we actually trigger those shards. So, kind of nothing is happening at the bottom, which is kind of funny. We could play an Ice Storm, though. Ice Storm could basically wipe out the bottom. Devourer of Death could be played at the bottom before we play Ice Storm to charge it up. Kind of like that. And then you're not dying, which is only bad if we don't play enough spells up here. Which we can do. We can play spells up there. So let's play Devourer of Death at the bottom. Let's play a Primitive Mold. We play that at the top. We play an Ice Storm at the bottom, which kills all of those. Charging up our Devourer of Death. And then we play... Oh right, we got another Ice Storm. I like that. I forgot about the extra Ice Storm. We have no problem with Ember because of all of the stuff that we have that gives us Ember. I like it. So Ice Storm here. And then Foregone Power, we're going to play that here so that we only need one more spell to wake up our Soul Guard. There are some Molten Encasements. Molten Encasements are good. Let's play some Molten Encasements. We can't put any at the bottom, so I guess we put them at the top now. Let's wake up Soulguard the Martyr this turn. So, Molten Encasement, Molten Encasement. Start with those. Let's play the Primitive Mold. That didn't have anything, alright. And then Helical Chrysalis to kill you, I guess? We don't need to do that, because you're just killing a Molten Encasement, which would die anyway. Okay. Let's do Helical Chrysalis down here, then. Yeah? And then Purifying Cleanse is pointless, maybe? We could add more Burnout to you, but you would still die. I guess it does the Incant, so... For the Incant. Oh, and the +1 magic power. The Forgotten Name has been very good for me. I've just neglected to notice it most of the time. We've got 18 Ember. Our Primitive Molds basically give us Ember because we always get back the Tomb units. Amazing. Alright. Well, let's get back a Tomb unit to put in front down here. You've got 6 souls already. Amazing. Yeah, let's just charge you up with lots of Incant at the bottom. And then these two can go at the top to give a ridiculous amount of stealth to my champion. I played this one first so the Ember Drain doesn't happen because of Burnout. And let's not play the Ice Tornado. Okay, I think we are handling this battle no problem at all. We got Ice Storm, perfect. We also got Primitive Mold. Let's take the Primitive Mold, put out the Molten Encasement, play a Primitive Mold, put a Purifying Cleanse on this Molten Encasement, play this Molten Encasement at the top, in case it ever matters. We're already winning. Okay, well, let's play the rest of our stuff. Ice Storm, Ice Storm, Ice Tornado, Helical Chrysalis, and then Foregone Power. Okay, and then we win at the bottom. No problem. Wow. We have so much stealth on our units. Frenzied Swarm. Apply Dazed 1 to enemy units. Interesting. Cuddle Hex applies Frozen to a card in my hand. These are kind of the opposite effect, somewhat. I think Frenzied Swarm is not very great when we have so much source of stealth in the deck, and it doesn't really work with my Frost guys, because they want to be hit. The Glacial Seal is not bad, because of the Incant, but I think we take nothing. Let's take nothing. Wicked Blaze. Oh, Wicked Blaze is nice. Remnant Pact is pretty good too. Let's take Remnant Pact. Okay, I want to remove more cards, which means I do want to go right. That means we miss out on another Merchant of Magic. Do we ever get a Merchant of Magic if we always go to Unstable Vortexes? No. No, we don't. But we're probably going to go to that Merchant of Magic, for what it's worth. How many Unstable Vortexes do we want? We want to remove Foregone Powers. We want to remove... I mean, the Primitive Molds are actually really good. The Primitive Molds are good in this deck. Because the only things that die are things that we want to get back anyway. So even the randomness of Primitive Mold is not that bad. So we could go to... We could go to 2 and be okay with it. 2 Unstable Vortexes, which is how much we're going to go to if we go both of the Unstable Vortex routes. Or we could go to a Merchant of Magic now. It's just that the money and the Pyre Remains is not that valuable. Let's go to the right. So, Unstable Vortex first. We know what we want to do here. Foregone Power, gone. Duplicate. The duplicate is harder for me. What do we want to duplicate? Maybe the Ice Storm? I don't know if we want to duplicate the Titan Sentries anymore. They're very nice, but how many do we need? Let's go to the Concealed Caverns first. Maybe I'll have an epiphany in between. Oh! Arcane Machines. I like Arcane Machines. Let's build a card. So we could sap an enemy, we could regen on our unit, or we could apply Rage to a unit. The Rage is good for our guys if they survive. The Life is good to help them survive a little bit longer. The sap is not bad. I mean, let's go Rage. Because we're going to be stealthy so often, let's go Rage. Ascend? Oh man. Forward, backward, or up? Oh my, that's an interesting choice. Do we want to be able to overstack a floor? I don't know that we do. So the up might not be what we want because we don't really want to ascend our units all the time. If we are applying Rage to a unit, we probably want to push it back. So let's push it backward. It's not very valuable that we're pushing it back, though. Ooh, we could create more space. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm going to click that one. Add more space. I take the orb. Very interesting thing that we did there. So, do we want to duplicate our giant guys again? Knowing that we just got a way to add more space. Other options are Spike of the Hellhorned, which, you know, it would be nice to have more than one of those. We don't really need another Primitive Mold. I don't think the old magic was good enough for us to duplicate it. And we could always have more Molten Encasements, but I don't think we need it. The Ice Storm is a valuable one. I think we duplicate the Titan Sentry again. Okay, ridiculous. Titan Sentry on every floor. Hopefully 2 on the same floor. Blinding and Shattering, the worst. Shattering, when our units die, it does what to us? It adds Weights of Contrition. Blinding, when we play units, we get blinded or dazed, which is bad for playing our Tomb units. We have to be very careful here. We've done really well so far, but we could totally mess ourselves up if we don't play the right thing based on the Dark Shard that's there. Devourer of Death is not what you want at the first turn. We could play... How much Ember do we have? Because we're going to get 3 more. So we could actually play everything in our hand. So we could play Devourer of Death down here with a Titan Sentry, and then use Ice Tornado to take these out. I like that. Soulguard the Martyr goes to the top. You got the rally, but we were phased, so it didn't affect us. So now we're playing Titan Sentry down here, and then we play the Devourer of Death, we play an Ice Tornado, and we play another Titan Sentry in the center. Okay. Decent start. There's a Shattering in the center, not too bad right now. Primitive Molds don't get back anything yet. So there's not much to do, because our Titan Sentry, we probably don't want to put it at the top. Probably. There is a question next to that, probably. I don't know. We could play it at the top, but I don't know that it's that valuable for us to do so. So I think what we're going to do is play Crystalline Seeds in the middle to apply some Frostbite to the boss. And we're going to play 2 Primitive Molds to bring up your shards. And then we just don't play the Titan Sentry. Yet. I don't think we want it at the top. I think we'd rather have Stealth. So this guy is going to explode this turn, which means he's going to do a bunch of damage. 60 damage to all of them. Not bad. Blinding means that we don't want to play something down here. We don't want to play a unit down here. So we don't want to play the Molten Encasement. Down here, at least. The Helical Chrysalis is good at the bottom. Most other things are not. Who do we want to apply Endless to? Maybe the Molten Encasement. So what if we play Molten Encasement at the top, apply Endless to it, so that we get it back every turn? We could heal you. We could heal you so that you take more damage before you die. Kind of like that. Take more damage before you die. The old magic we want to play at the bottom, I think. And then we ran out of Ember. Shattering Dark Shard at the top, so don't play the Molten Encasement at the top. Play it at the bottom this turn. Pretty nice at the bottom this turn. We can even get back Devourer of Death, so we can do Molten Encasement, Primitive Mold, get back Devourer of Death, which goes here. It has Burnout 1, so it's going to die this turn. That's a little bit sad, but, you know, we've got to have it die so we can get more Burnout. And then we've got 9 Ember, which we can spend on Spike of the Hellhorn, which I think is quite nice. You are the problem. I think that you will not be a problem for too long. Let's play the Foregone Power at the top, hit the boss, and give us magic power and give us shards. So blinding means that we don't want to play our Molten Encasements here on this floor. That's okay, we didn't want to anyway. We have the Devourer of Death again that we can get back. I guess we will. So Primitive Mold, Devourer of Death. We could have woken up our Soulguard the Martyr with that. Should have thought of that. Anyway, Devourer of Death has Burnout 2 this time. And then we can play a Molten Encasement and a Molten Encasement. We want to do the one that does not have Endless behind. And then Molten Encasement at the top. And then we play a Primitive Mold at the top so that we wake up our Soulguard. So now you can start getting the stealth. And then Memento Mori, we should play somewhere. I guess we should play it here because that means we deal a lot more damage to that second one. Sure. We have so much Ember. My word. So much Ember. The Shattering Dark Shard. Unfortunate because this one's going to burn out. But we won't play anything else. So we don't get 2 Weights of Contrition, basically. We can play Old Magic here. I like that. So play Old Magic here. And then now we have enough space to put another Siren of the Sea down here. Which I'm kind of interested in. Sure. Granted, everything has stealth except for the Sirens of the Sea. Yeah, we'll play it anyway. It will get hit pretty hard but not die. And then we've got a Molten Encasement to put in front of Soulguard the Martyr. And then we've got a Primitive Mold to get a Molten Encasement to put in front of Soulguard the Martyr. And then an Ice Tornado that we could play. There's very little reason to play it at the bottom. I guess it makes it so that you don't get so much damage. But I don't mind you getting so much damage. Let's play it in the center. Alright. We have another 10 Ember for next turn. Plus the 3. So we got our Weight of Contrition. We were sad about that. Blinding Dark Shard means we don't play anything at the top this turn. We don't play any units at the top. But we do want to play units at the bottom. So we do that. We also got a Primitive Mold. So we can play another unit at the bottom. How about Devourer of Death? Oh, it doesn't fit. Sad. I guess we'll play it in the middle? It's so poor at the middle. Do we not play it? Maybe we don't play it. We'll wait until the next run through our deck. Then we've got things that deal damage. I guess we play those up here. And then we got +1 magic power and do Ice Storm again. Great. Our back one has 12 stealth. We're already winning, even without adding this one. But if I add this one, do we lose any less money? I think we lose the same amount of money. So let's not play it. And we crush, because we've got so much stealth on our units. We've got very weird units to put stealth on, granted. The units that we're putting stealth on have a revenge effect. But still, so much stealth is very powerful. Harness the Titan is pretty good. I like Harness the Titan, especially along with Ice Tornado, Helical Chrysalis, and Ice Storm. Let's take it. And then do we want more space, which we could actually use, or do we want more draw, which we could actually use because we've got so much Ember every turn? Let's get more draw. Okay, so here's one of the options where I could choose not to go to the unstable vortex and instead go this way. And I think I do that. So let's go this way. We finally get a Merchant of Magic. Upgrade our champion. So 15 stacks of Shard. 15 stacks means 8 spells. I'm fine with that. 210, 210 with multi-strike. Let's get it. Let's peek in here. We have an Eternal Stone. Ooh. We might put that on Spike of the Hellhorned. And then we have Divine Temple, which has a Twin Stone and a Purge Stone. Any stones that we add at this point are pretty significant because we're already at 110 pack shards. So let's be careful. Still don't mind going to a Divine Temple though, sometime maybe. Concealed Caverns, what do we get? It's gotta be good. I don't recognize it. What is it? The doors, trap shoot, descend a unit to the bottom floor, apply dazed 2. Or the hook, ascend an enemy unit to the pyre room, apply dazed 3. I think we want the doors. I don't know why the doors cost 0 and the hook costs 2. Because I think the doors are better. I guess usually you don't want the enemy attacking your units again, but they have days too. Let's do the trap shoot. I also noticed we have not mastered either of those. And this run is going pretty well, so maybe we'll master that one. Merchant of Magic, we certainly want Eternal Stone. We have another choice to put it on now. We could put it on Trap Shoot. But I think with how much Ember we get, Spike of the Hellhorned is what we want this on. Because we can just play that over and over, continue to make our units strong. Surge Stone we probably don't want. Nope, don't want that. Emberstone is good on a couple things. One of the things I'm thinking about is not possible, the Ice Storm. Alright. So I guess the next thing that we would most want it on is what we just got, the Spike of the Hellhorned. Okay, do we reroll? Probably yes. Probably yes, but I'm thinking about trinkets next time. If we reroll, it'll be harder to get a trinket. I do like my trinkets. We're going to lose a lot of the cash that we have, but we're not going to lose 198 cash. I don't think. So I think we just leave. Keep our money for potential trinkets next round, next ring. There's also the Foregone Power, which we might remove at some point. Let's go to the next battle. I think we've got this battle pretty much fine. Also, Aggressive Amulet doesn't seem so bad. Let's turn it on. Get 400 more gold at the end of this. I like the sound of that. Okay, we have an Ice Storm turn 1. We need to deal with the Gilded Wings. The Gilded Wings are the most dangerous by far. Soulguard the Martyr goes at the top. We know that. We want to play our Titan Sentries. So let's play those. One here, one here. And then we want to play the Ice Storm, so we play that. Killed the back one, kind of nice. And then we get another Ice Storm, which we probably also want to play here. Probably. Because it's 55 damage. Do we put the Molten Encasement out? I think we do. But the fact that you add... Let's put the Molten Encasement out. So we got a Spike of the Hellhorn, and we do have a lot of Ember. One of the reasons to play the Molten Encasement last turn. Also, we got a Primitive Mold, which is great because we played a Molten Encasement last turn. So, I think we play a Molten Encasement at the bottom. We might even play 2 at the bottom. The one with Burnout behind the one that does not have Burnout. You are still a problem. And we do want to kill the Collector. I think I'll kill the Collector with a Foregone Power. Let's play the Molten Encasements first. Molten Encasement. That one has Burnout, so this one goes in front. So now you're going to have a ridiculous amount of stealth. That kind of takes care of the boss. It's just that the boss is not the only problem. You need to get more damage. And then what? How do we deal you enough damage? We could make this guy stronger with the Spike of the Hellhorn, but you know we kind of want to do that on this one, because this one is going to have so much stealth. We could play the Ice Tornado here, or we could save it for next turn, because we know we're going to have it next turn. So Spike of the Hellhorn this turn. That means that we can play this. That kill... No, we're not going to have the Ice Tornado next turn, because of the Foregone Power. That was sad, because I was planning to play it to kill this one and get shards, which we don't get to do anymore. So we might need to try very hard to wake up our champion, which will be very difficult. Oh, or we could trap shoot. We could trap shoot you to the bottom. I like it. Harness the Titan doesn't do anything with these cards, unfortunately. So let's wake you up, actually. So Harness the Titan doesn't do anything with these cards, so let's just play it. Oh, it actually made the Purifying Cleanse better. Okay, fair. Didn't think of that being one that could be made better. So a Molten Encasement, we probably want to put that at the bottom. Crystalline Seeds we might also play at the bottom. We can't wake you up. We need 15. So we would need to play 4 more spells. Which would be all these spells. We're not going to do that. So that means we're going to trap shoot. Now we can play Molten Encasement at the bottom. We can play Crystalline Seeds at the bottom. We can purify our Molten Encasement and give it Endless, I guess? Sure. So purify it and give it Endless, so that we draw it all the time. And that means that you're going to be super stealthy. In the center, you are dying. That's a problem, but we need to wake up Silgard the Martyr. That's the main thing that we need to do. Wake up Silgard the Martyr. So let's focus on waking up Silgard the Martyr. We have 3 primitive molds, which is enough to wake up Silgard the Martyr. Alright, let's do it. 1 primitive mold, 2 primitive mold. 3 primitive mold. Soulguard the Martyr is here. That solves a lot of problems. You have burnout 1, so you're going to go in the center. Add some frostbite before you die. That also kills you so we don't get another self-mutilation. I like that. Soulguard the Martyr can take care of those 2 enemies. And now that Soulguard the Martyr is awake, I do want to add Molten Encasements up here, so you don't get so much damage. Let's add the Endless one. I want to add Molten Encasements at the bottom too, is the thing. Let's do the Devourer of Death at the bottom. Not many things are dying at the bottom, is the thing. But the Molten Encasements are. So, play you at the bottom, play a Molten Encasement. I guess we play this one. And then this Molten Encasement goes up here. You've got Burnout 1, so you go behind. There we go. Now I think this one is no problem. We've got this figured out. We did get 2 weights of contrition, or self-mutilations, I mean. We have enough Ember to play them, but it's really the draw that's the problem. The Molten Encasement can go at the top or the bottom. I think we want to put it at the top to give you more stealth, since we only drew 1 of them. Old Magic is going to go here to make you stronger, and then Ice Tornadoes. Let's do it the places that the Purifiers are. So 1 goes here, kills a Purifier. 1 goes here, kills a Purifier. That was hopeful, but it did happen. I called it, as it were. We don't quite have enough to add another Titan Sentry to the bottom yet, but I am thinking about that. Titan Sentry goes here. Molten Encasement, we want... put this one at the top. And then we're going to play 2 primitive molds. One of them was a Siren of the Sea, which we can't fit anywhere, sadly. But we'll play this Molten Encasement here, it will burn out. And then we can probably deal a fair amount of damage to you with Memento Mori and Foregone Power. You know, you didn't die, but we did make this guy stronger. Okay, we're already winning. It's crazy when we're already winning, right? I'm going to play my Spike of the Hellhorn. And then we just win. Our champion is so strong. And granted, the champion helped a lot in that one. But the champion has not hit a boss yet, I don't think. Oh, look at that money. We take it. Another Ice Storm. I don't know if we want another one right now. Preserve might not be bad. Harness the Titan is something that we might preserve. Our Ice Storm we might preserve. You know, I kind of like Preserve. Let's take it. Intent on Death. Ooh. The fact that it has Consume is the worst part. Memories of the Melted? Or we could skip. I think I'm going to take Intent on Death, because this is a good deck for it. It's just that it has Consume. I'm partially taking it because our Seraph is Seraph the Diligent, so more things that have Consume are better. So I want to go to the Merchant of Magic. I do. Let's go to the Merchant of Magic. So we're going to have a lot of money. We get a Merchant of Trinkets, which has what? When a friendly unit dies, apply +10 attack to that unit. It's fine. The Sigiled Seaweed is just fine too. The Resin Block is weird because, you know, our Molten Encasements having +10 is not that important. And most of the other units don't die. Still, it's interesting. I think we don't take it. I think we are going to take Sigiled Seaweed, and then we probably reroll. So Sigiled Seaweed and a reroll is the current plan. Seek Stone or Twin Stone? The Seek Stone, we don't really care very much. I guess the old magic is good for Seek Stone. Could put a Seek Stone on old magic. Twin Stone is nice too. Freeze Stone. That's nice. Power Stone is also good. We're definitely taking Power Stone. Let's start there. We're taking Power Stone. We're putting it on probably an Ice Tornado or a Helical Chrysalis. Let's put it on an Ice Tornado. I do want the Freeze Stone, but let's do the trinkets first. So we're taking Sigiled Seaweed, and then we reroll. I don't think we care about these. Improved Firebox is pretty interesting. We could take Improved Firebox and then make the Spike of the Hellhorned intrinsic. That's not bad. That's the only thing I can think of that's worthwhile here, though. We don't need Combustible Wax. The burnout on our units is actually fine. We want them to burn out, for the most part. So I think we might take Improved Firebox. It's at least not bad. And then that makes me want to take Seek Stone and put it on the card that is already full, which means we can't do that. Sad. That means we probably don't want Seek Stone on anything. Do we want Twin Stone on anything? We could put a Twin Stone on old magic. That it would get us space a lot faster. Let's do that. Let's get space a lot faster. And then stop with the pack shards and consider Merchant of Magic. Thinking about what we do here, because if we reroll, we're not going to get the Freeze Stone. The Freeze Stone is kind of nice for a couple things. For one, Harness the Titan having a Freeze Stone on it is not bad. Trap Shoot having a Freeze Stone on it is not bad. Trap Shoot is probably the best Freeze Stone target. Probably. Let's do it. Freeze Stone on Trap Shoot. Which means, let's get an Ember Stone. Put an Ember Stone on Old Magic because we put a spell chain on it, a Twin Stone. So, now it doesn't cost a ridiculous amount to play both of them. Even though we usually have that ridiculous amount. Before we go duplicate, because of how much money we have, the only thing we can do with our money is re-roll and get one of these. Let's do another Power Stone. Same Ice Tornado or different or Helical Chrysalis. Same Ice Storm, or same Ice Tornado. Next, what do we duplicate? What do we duplicate? I don't think we duplicate a unit. We could duplicate that Ice Storm still. Primitive molds are actually not terrible for duplication. We could duplicate Trap Shoot, which is a little bit weird. It does have Consume on it, so it's a pretty good one to duplicate. And it has a Freeze Stone. Let's duplicate it. It's a weird duplicate, but I didn't have something I really wanted to duplicate. Alright. Seraph the Diligent. The most important thing is remember the first spell card played each turn gets consumed. So don't play the spell cards first that you want to play multiple times. I say that to myself because it's very important for me to get that into my head. Okay, we did get a Spike of the Hellhorned on the first turn, which is a little bit of a surprise, since we didn't put the intrinsic on it, but we still got it. I don't know what we want to consume. Of the spells, we could consume the Trap Shoot, but this is a weird turn to consume it. I definitely want to play Spike of the Hellhorned, and I do not want to consume it. Playing Purifying Cleanse would not be great on anything except for Devourer of Death. We could play you and immediately make it so that you have more burnout for when you come back. It's not terrible. It's better than consuming Trap Shoot, I think. So, Soulguard the Martyr goes at the top. We know that much. We play Devourer of Death down here. We play Purifying Cleanse on it, so that we consume Purifying Cleanse. Actually, we should play the Titan Sentry first, because you have Incant. So now we play Purifying Cleanse to consume it. And then the real question is, do we play a Vengeful Shard? The Vengeful Shard deals 1 damage to our Pyre. 1 damage is very insignificant. Is 2 Rage and 2 Armor much better? Not really. Let's play it. Okay, so you're getting a lot of damage. It's still not enough, of course. I think we're going to maybe Trap Shoot you, because the first one is hard to deal with. The first enemy unit that has a lot of health, hard to kill. Oh, you're a problem. Forgot about that. We could do Crystalline Seeds to take care of that problem this turn. I guess we will. So, the Titan Sentry that's in our hand goes here. Deals some more damage to you. Crystalline Seeds goes up here. That gives us some shards, but it's really not enough. Down here we put the Molten Encasements. So, 2 Molten Encasements go at the bottom. And we could even do Intent on Death on one of them, but... Did we consume a spell I didn't want to consume? No, we consumed Crystalline Seeds. Great. So we could play Intent on Death. That would mean that these don't die this turn. I think we don't want that to happen. The Memento Mori is not bad to play. Oh, you're silenced. Ho-ho! I like that one being silenced. The Memento Mori could have gone at the top, for example. Actually, it still can, because adding more shards to you is very important. Let's do it. Okay. Trap Shoot next turn, most likely. You are dying in the center. I don't really mind that you're dying too much. Not too much. The Ice Storm does 55 damage, which is not enough to kill you. So we probably still Trap Shoot you. This Titan Sentry will stay in the deck for later. I don't want to consume a Primitive Mold. So, I think we're playing the Trap Shoot. And if we are, we're playing it first. So, Trap Shoot you. That adds 2 shards, which is good for us. Let's do Primitive Mold twice up here. That will add more shards, which is good for us. And then the bottom. The bottom we could add both Molten Encasements. They do both have Burnout 1, which will make him be super stealthy. And then we have lots of things we can do. I think putting Endless on one of these is very helpful, so let's do that. Playing the Vengeful Shard is of course a good idea. We're just not playing the Titan Sentry because it doesn't fit. It technically fits at the top, but we won't do it there. You're surviving, but we might have a pretty decent chance to deal with you at the top next turn. I think we will. And you don't have tons of health, so I'm not going to worry about you. Let's worry about these down here. And we want to do Ice Storm first. Did not hit the front one at all. Ice Storm again. And then I think that you might be fine, because you're going to go to the next floor on your own, dazed, although this guy isn't going to be here. Interesting. So we could do an Ice Tornado here, which would take care of this one, but I'm more interested in either doing it here so that you might survive, or doing it at the top for one more shard. Let's do it here so we might survive. Oh, how about that? You survive. Cool. And then that's it for that turn. Alright, remember, first spell gets consumed. Our first spell could be Foregone Power. We do want that one to be consumed. It's just that if we play it, it discards something, which is not our favorite. But consuming it is good. Let's play the Molten Encasement first. And then we consume Foregone Power. And we're kind of sad whatever it discarded was bad for us, but I didn't check. Another Primitive Mold is good. Let's wake you up this turn, I think. So Harness the Titan goes here so that you get woken up. Now, Vengeful Shard, Devourer of Death can go down here, which is perfect. Perfect. And then Ice Tornado goes down here. 47 damage Ice Tornado. Nice. You do Burnout, which is fine. I don't mind our units burning out. You are dying very easily, but I kind of want our Sogard the Martyr to have some stealth. So let's do that this turn. Let's add some stealth to Sogard the Martyr. Do we play Primitive Molds? Of course we do. Why wouldn't we play Primitive Molds? Primitive Mold, Primitive Mold. Oops. Primitive Mold, I said. The Molten Encasement can go in front with the Devourer of Death behind. And then we can do Old Magic to give you Rage. And then we can play another Old Magic to give you more Rage. And then, what did we consume this turn? We consumed a Primitive Mold. You know, fine. I'm thinking about preserving this Deadweight. Because if we preserve the Deadweight, then we do the Incant, and that means that we don't have to draw the Deadweight next time through our deck. Which is kind of useful. Our middle Titan Sentry died. That was the one adding lots of frost. Luckily we can probably get him back. Oh, not this turn, though. This turn he does not come back. Unfortunate. What are we going to have? We can consume Intent on Death. That seems like a good consume. So, play the Molten Encasement. One of these at the bottom. Consume Intent on Death. There we go. Now, we've consumed the thing we want to consume. Molten Encasement can go there. You guys are going to die from my champion, no problem. So I don't think we should care about you. The old magic... You know, let's play the Harness the Titan. To do the incant. And then old magic again. Alright, so you're getting pretty strong. I mean, my champion definitely has more than you, but you've got so much stealth with it too. You're doing quite well. We got another Titan Sentry, which we could add to the center, or we can add it to the bottom, because we've got a lot of space at the bottom now. Although we kind of want to have... I don't know what we want. We've got a Spike of the Hellhorn as well. All of those are dying, so the top is fine. The middle is honestly fine, because it's just going to die at the top. What do we want to consume? Probably a primitive mold? We could consume Trap Shoot, but I probably want to consume primitive mold. I don't know, we play our primitive mold all the time. Maybe we don't want to consume it. Let's consume the Trap Shoot. Bring you down. Now that we've consumed a card, we can play our primitive molds, no problem. And if I'm going to play a Siren of the Sea down here, we should play it before we play spells. So let's do it. Now we play Primitive Mold, Vengeful Shard, Vengeful Shard. We got another Siren of the Sea. That one can go in the center. Molten Encasements go at the bottom. Give me so much stealth, it's ridiculous. One could go at the top, but... you know? Let's put him at the bottom. So much stealth, it's ridiculous. And then we do Spike of the Hellhorn to make you even bigger. Okay. Well, our bottom is pretty good. The Relentless phase. Are we winning at the bottom? Of course we are. This front one dies though, so we can change that with a Molten Encasement. Now that front one doesn't die, we could change that with a Primitive Mold to get back Devourer of Death. Interesting. Not the one I wanted for Primitive Mold. We can do Ice Storm. We can do a Helical Chrysalis. A Memento Mori to just almost kill you. Ice Storm to kill you. And then our middle one doesn't take damage. Great. Can we kill this one? Not quite. Not quite. Oh, actually, this one doesn't die. So, we do get to kill that one too. We kill everything. Great. I think we've got a good deck. Can we defeat the Last Divinity? I think we might be able to, because we have so much stealth. So, Last Divinity battle. Let's go. I'm thinking about how we plan this one out. So our champion still goes at the top. There's no reason not to put the champion at the top, still. We got a trap shoot, so we can play that when we need it. I think at the bottom, we might not want to do all the stealth at the bottom. We might do all of the stealth in the center this time. Ooh, you do 9 times 3 in the center? That's scary. We don't want to play this Molten Encasement, basically. I mean, I want to play it so that it dies. I guess we'll play it so that it dies. Soulguard the Martyr goes to the top. Siren of the Sea goes at the bottom. You're dying. First turn. I wasn't expecting that. I guess this back one does do 50 damage total. Let's hope that changes with an Ice Tornado. There we go. Ice Tornado did help there. 64 damage, though. Maybe we do put the Molten Encasement at the bottom. I really wanted the Frostbite to affect things at the bottom, though. That's why I was thinking of not doing the Molten Encasement at the bottom. So that we would do more Frostbite at the bottom. But it doesn't work if our guy just dies. I mean, it kind of does, because we can get back our units so easily. Let's play the Molten Encasement somewhere else. Play it at the top. We're also going to play Memento Mori at the top, so that we get a shard. And then, do we play Intent on Death? I don't think we do. The reason to play it is the shards, primarily. I mean, it would keep you around, it would not keep you around because of the Acid Rain. Even though this wouldn't hit it, the Acid Rain would. So yeah, we don't play anything else. We've got a Trap Shoot. Trap Shoots are good. I want to use the Trap Shoot later, of course. So I want to play this Siren of the Sea in the center, probably. We do have a Primitive Mold. So, Siren of the Sea in the center. We know that much. We probably play the Molten Encasement in the center. We have 2 of those, though. We're going to play a Primitive Mold. And then we play another Primitive Mold just for the Incant. So that we get those shards up. We need those shards. I'm thinking that in the center we play tons of Molten Encasements and Old Magic. But I don't like that you're dying already. Not really. Don't like that you're dying already. Still, I think we stick to the plan, because we can always bring you back. So, Molten Encasement goes in the center. This one has Burnout. We can play Old Magic first. Old Magic, Old Magic. So we have space. So now we've got Molten Encasement, Molten Encasement. This one goes here. This one goes here. You might make it to the top. I think the Pyre might have to deal with you. Which, to be fair, won't do much damage. But you might have to be hit by the Pyre. We need to wake up our big guy at the top soon. We have 2 Trap Shoots, but we're not using a Trap Shoot on him. We have Harness the Titan, which doesn't really affect anything in the hand. You know, I think we preserve it. So we're going to play Preserve on Harness the Titan. Now we've got 3 frozen cards. That's a lot. We play this Titan Sentry at the bottom, it's going to just die, isn't it? Ooh, you know what? We could add Endless to you. I actually like that. Adding Endless to one of the Titan Sentries. Not what I was thinking of in this battle, but actually don't mind it. Does that mean we put the Devourer of Death behind it? The Devourer of Death is kind of waiting for something that can give it stealth. But we could put it behind this guy right now, so this one dies first, and then you explode, hitting everything. Kind of like that. And then Crystalline Seeds is good anywhere. In the center, we might want it. We might want it in the center, because that Frostbite might be important to us. So let's do it in the center. At the top, we're okay. We're okay. We're not doing great at the top yet. I'm glad that we're killing that Clip Shaman. Okay, we did take some damage on the Pyre. I want to wake up Soulguard the Martyr this turn, probably. Although the Ice Storm does maybe make me change my plans. Let's play the Siren of the Sea first. The Titan Sentry Siren of the Sea. Spike of the Hellhorn is going to have to be played for very little this turn. Let's play Harness the Titans next, or a Molten Encasement next. Molten Encasement in the center or the top are good. The top is good if we are getting Soulguard the Martyr awake this turn, which is a question. We might not wake you up this turn, depending on how Ice Storm does. Well, actually, this middle one is going to be a problem regardless. So we probably want Molten Encasement at the top, and then wake you up with lots of spells. Okay, so Molten Encasement goes at the top. Then we have to play lots of spells. Primitive Mold. Primitive Mold. And then we need to play 2 more spells. One of those is going to be Harness the Titan. And then the other one is going to be Ice Storm, I guess. I don't mind having a Purge Ice Storm in the deck. So let's go. That wakes up Soulguard the Martyr, which means all of those guys die. Hooray. For the center and the bottom, we've got another Molten Encasement. This one has Burnout 1. I probably want to do that here. I think. We're going to have so much stealth it probably won't matter where we play our stealth units, but try to be strategic about it. The Spike of the Hellhorn does very little, but it still does something. And this Siren of the Sea, it has Burnout 1, so let's put it in the center. It'll apply a lot of Frostbite to these units. Which is good because we don't know how we're going to take care of one of those units. And then Spike of the Hellhorn goes here to basically just do the incant. Alright. I feel like we've solved this one, but it's not yet solved. I realize that the Frostbite gets taken away from the Last Divinity every turn, so we do a fair amount of Frostbite damage, but then the Frostbite goes away, which is sad. Man, we've got a nice hand. I like our hand. What are we doing first? So the back one is the problem here. If we could kill the front one, such as with a Helical Chrysalis, it would be nice. We don't get to choose to kill it, but we could play an Ice Storm as well. Let's play a Primitive Mold in the center first. We got Devourer of Death, not the one I wanted. With only one, not the one I wanted. But we could put him behind this guy. This guy has Endless, so we could just put him behind. He'll do some damage. And then what? We could do Intent on Death, but it's not very valuable when you have no souls. Right. Intent on Death is pointless this turn, which means we probably want to preserve it. So let's play Preserve to preserve Intent on Death. Okay, the top is the problem. It's the back one that's the problem. Let's do an Ice Storm. Okay, so that solved the problem because now we can play Helical Chrysalis, and now both of those guys die. Now we can play an Ice Storm in the center because, you know, the Discipled Inquisitor is a problem. We can also play it at the bottom. But I feel like the center is pretty good. We could play the Purifying Cleanse at the bottom to give you more burnout. Sure. It does something. Let's do an Ice Storm in the center. Are we going to be able to kill you with the champion? I'm not sure yet. Let's play an Ice Tornado. The champion does 420 damage, which means the answer is no right now. But maybe it will be close enough that we don't mind. I don't know. We'll find out. So, step 1, let's play the Siren of the Sea. Then let's play a Primitive Mold. Play the Primitive Mold in the center where we get the nice enchant. Then we have a Molten Encasement, which anywhere we play it is pretty good. You would have 100 health left. Not great for us. 100 health left is not enough. Let's play the Harness the Titan, I guess, next. Harness the Titan next. This Ice Storm does 25 damage a pop, which means it does a lot to you, but not quite enough. I'm thinking of whether we have to do a Trap Shoot on this one. Let's do the Primitive Mold as well. But then we can't play Old Magic twice if we play Primitive Mold. Let's consider Old Magic being played twice. The floor where we want space is this floor. And let's do Ice Storm. And now you die. Oh, because of the Frostbite. I was not calculating the Frostbite. Great. We did not have to play Trap Shoot yet. The yet is important there. You're adding a lot of Frostbite to those guys. I think I'll let that be. Let's play Old Magic here. And those are the next problems. We might have to Trap Shoot one of those. Because the back ones are a problem. I don't know, if the back ones got to the Pyre, they wouldn't do that much damage. So we might just let them go. Spike of the Hellhorned, alright. And we have 2 Primitive Molds. I like the 2 Primitive Molds. Let's start there. Do I care about you being enchanted? A little bit. A little bit I do. I like my guy being enchanted, but I don't like you also being enchanted. I don't know. I guess we'll do it anyway. We got another Siren of the Sea. I like that. We can put that in the center. Let's play our other Primitive Mold, though. So the Molten Encasement goes at the top. We don't even kill the middle one at the top. That's not good for us. Let's figure out what we're going to do at the top. So Molten Encasement probably goes at the top this turn. This Titan Sentry probably goes in the middle this turn. It could go at the bottom. No, it can't. It can't fit. So in the middle. Now we're doing a lot more in the middle, which is good for us. If we play Ice Tornado, it has a pretty good chance to kill one of the back two. So let's start there. It killed none of the back two. Alright. Well, those back two will deal a fair amount of damage to the Pyre, but maybe not enough for me to play a Trap Shoot. Probably not enough for me to play a Trap Shoot. Thinking about it, though. If we do play Trap Shoot, we Trap Shoot this one and not the other one. I think we won't mind. We could kill one of them by killing the front Gilded Wing with Memento Mori. Kind of wanted to use Memento Mori here. But what if we play Memento Mori here, then only you get to the top, doing a fair amount less damage. That's good. The Purifying Cleanse, does that help anybody? I don't really want to apply Burnout to you, even though you die constantly. I don't think I want to apply Burnout to you. Oh, never mind, you're not the Endless one. You are the Endless one. Do I want to apply Burnout to you? No. Let's play the Spike of the Hellhorned here. Okay, front two die, which means my champion will take care of the next two. We are taking a fair amount of damage this turn, because that one gets to the top. But we haven't played a single Trap Shoot yet. And our Trap Shoots are nice. So first the Endless guy goes at the bottom. You're there to apply Frostbite things. We have two Primitive Molds to play. Let's play those. Primitive Mold gets back a Molten Encasement and Devourer of Death. I think we play the Molten Encasement here. Do we want you to die? Or do we want you to stick around? You've got Burnout 1. You're going to die regardless. Okay. So let's not worry about it. We play a Molten Encasement. We play a Devourer of Death. We play Intent on Death on this Devourer of Death later, I think. I think that's the plan. We have another Primitive Mold. I didn't realize that. Another Molten Encasement goes at the top. We do not need to play Trap Shoot. We might need to next turn. I'd probably want to play an Ice Tornado at the bottom. We can preserve this Deadweight if we want. I think that's worth doing, so preserve the Deadweight. Ice Tornado in the center or the bottom? Probably the bottom. The reason to do it in the center is it would kill this one, and then my champion probably does enough damage to kill this one. That's pretty nice, actually. Actually, not bad. And I don't really care much about the ones at the bottom, so yeah, let's do that instead. Great. I think my champion does enough damage to kill the last Knight of the Disciples. I have not noticed how much damage we've dealt to the Last Divinity. It is not much. The Last Divinity has not been taking much damage so far. But I think the amount of stealth that we have will solve that problem. You come at the bottom, apply lots of frostbite. Old magic goes here. Twice. You are dying, great. We save Intent on Death for when that guy has the most souls. Actually, should we just do it now? I guess we should do it now. Or we should do it on something other than that guy. I forgot that he had Burnout, which means he doesn't gain lots and lots of souls, and then we do Intent on Death. It's kind of sad. The top and the middle are no problem at all, so it's just the bottom. Let's play Harness the Titan. Actually, let's do that here so we get the incant where we want it. And then Helical Chrysalis pretty cleanly takes out the front one. And then we play Ice Storm twice. It didn't hit that one at all. Alright. How random. We are not going to play Foregone Power. Not worth it, I say. Okay. So now it's all about stealth. And I think that it's all about stealth on my champion, specifically. Because the champion does more damage. We're already winning. We're already winning. How about that? You know what? Let's just trap shoot the boss a couple times. Incredible. That went so well. Well, we win. $44 damage taken. I could have taken probably none of that damage if I had used my trap shoots, but I was very careful to not use my trap shoots in case I needed them later, and therefore we took damage. The Stygian Guard. Win a run with all covenants enabled on the Stygian Guard. New achievement. Oh, and we mastered 7 cards. Divine mastered 7 new cards. Now that's nice. That's really nice. How about that? And one of them was an event card. The trap shoot was an event card. So those are harder to come by. Stealth applied and soul applied. Alright. Yeah, so we got a Soulguard the Martyr rank 25 victory. Great. Stealth applied 360, previous best was 200, and Soul applied 47, the previous best was 3. Great. That one was a good one. I liked it. And we finished another clan combination, as well as another expert challenge. Very happy about that run. 7 new Divine Mastered cards. Also nice. After this run, the Stygian Guard now has a Divine Victory with every clan combination with them as the primary. There are now only 2 clan combinations for which I do not have a Divine Victory. I earned 1 new achievement for the Stygian Guard winning on Covenant 25, and I Divinity Mastered 7 new cards. There are now 41 cards left for me to Divinity Master. On the right, I am happy to announce that I have killed 100 Purifiers, where I stop counting. Goodbye, Purifier. You have been checked off my list. Also, I am always happy to register a kill against Seraph the Diligent, whom I think of as one of the most difficult Seraph battles. On the left, I am featuring Titan Sentry, my main minion this time, and I had 3 copies all fully upgraded. They frequently took down bosses and most of the riffraff without the help of my champion. I also had 3 copies of Molten Encasement, which was stellar this run. When all minions have multi-strike, it is best to be stealthy. For artifacts, Encased Ember reaches my 10 battle threshold and really helped this run. It gave me enormous amounts of Ember, which I could funnel into X-cost cards or simply all of the various cards I drew. Founding Seal doubles Incant triggers, which was almost necessary to wake up the phased Soulguard the Martyr in time for it to help defeat units. Check out my tracking sheet, link in the video description. New episodes every Saturday, and thanks for watching.